Have you guys seen the news lately? I mean, I know you've been busy fighting each other. You've been busy trying to tear each other apart, especially the Yorubas and the Igbos. But have you seen the news lately? In case you have not seen the news, I want to tell you something right now that they are trying to Islamize you. Because right now the House of Representatives is trying to pass the Sharia law into the Nigerian constitution. They've been going forth and back because some people are pushing back against the Sharia law bullshit. Why some are pushing the Sharia law?
Abdul Hakim Kamilu Ado, representing Udilgarko Federal Constituency, Kano State. Mr. Speaker, I would like to make it brief to say that while being cautious, but we have to consider, and considering also the divisions we have in this country, we have to consider the ethics, the values, and the interest of the masses. Because we are here in this hollow chamber to represent the Nigerians, and also not to make a religion or a tribe or a community, not to constrain them from practicing something which is their way of life. We all know that Nigeria comprises of so many religions and also tribes and communities. But these religious matters, we consider it as a way of life, not just a mere religion. So considering the ethics and the values and the interest of the masses, not looking at the division or being cautious of what this will cause, Mr. Speaker, I think this bill is supposed to pass for the second reading. In my opinion, Mr. Speaker, we need to commend the Honorable Misau for coming up with this bill in order to unite and to create a free room or an interest for people that are practicing Islamic religion to practice their religion freely and to consider some way of lives which comprises so many things. Talk less of the commercial that he talked about. There are so many things we need to consider in order to encompass it under this bill. If at all we are considering this bill to be passed via the committee, then, Mr. Speaker, as you said earlier, that we are here as parliamentarians in order to pass bills, and it doesn't have to go through the committee. So we can pass it, and then later on the committee can consider what they can do about the bill. But we are here to debate it, and we are debating it. So let us go on with the debate, and later on consider what we can go with in this hollow chamber. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you.
But are you guys really surprised? I mean, in a country like Nigeria, where we have more than 75 million Christians, someone came to contest as your president, and he came with a Muslim ticket. As a Muslim person himself, he decided to pick a Muslim person to deputize him just for his own personal ambition. That shows the lack of respect Bola Ahmed Tinubu has for Nigerians. That means he lacks regard for the Christian community to begin with. Of course, I know some of you will say it doesn't matter, Yeah, it doesn't matter. If it doesn't really matter, then he should be able to pick a Yoruba person to be his deputy or to deputize him, since it doesn't matter. He should be able to produce an Igbo president and another Igbo vice president, or an Igbo man to deputize him. We should be able to produce a Yoruba president and a Yoruba man to deputize him. We should be able to produce a northerner as a president and another northerner to deputize him, since a Muslim ticket does not matter.
Mr. Speaker, our constitution allows for freedom of worship of all religions. Mr. Speaker, we would not sit in this hollow chamber and restrict ourselves to just a few. If we begin to put such components into the constitution, tomorrow the ecclesiastical faction comes up. The day after, the traditional faction comes up. The day after, all other components begin to come up. And what happens to our grand norm that is supposed to be the foundation of our existence? Mr. Speaker, Nigeria has never limited anybody from practicing his religion. You go to states like in the north, where you have Sharia being practiced as the criminal code for those states. It is because it's peculiar to them as a people and as a persons. By the time we begin to expand it and bring it into our constitution, we are not an Islamic state. We're a secular state. We're not a celestial state. We're a secular state. We are not a traditional worship state. We're a secular state that respects and gives everybody a sense of belonging. We're a nation. We need to be sensitive to the mood and the existence, freedom of speech, freedom of association, to live in happiness, not a scenario whereby there could be some misconceptions. To this end, I wish to crave the indulgence of the sponsor of this bill that he steps it down for more legislative input, and consultation, which would be more in tune with our beliefs and the norms. But I do not believe it is a legislation that should pass for second reading. I so submit.
And of course, it's not going to happen. This is Nigeria. We all know that Sharia bullshit is not going to fly. It's not going to happen, we know. But one thing that I'm so concerned about is the people pushing this bill. Look at them. 100% they are northerners. Look at the northern Nigeria today. We have 20 million children out of school. And I can tell you outrightly that more than 10 million of those children are from northern Nigeria. Look at the poorest states in Nigeria today. I tell you, top 5 are northern Nigerian states. But they are not pushing a bill on how to eradicate poverty. They are not pushing a bill on how to get their own children back in school. They are not, pushing a bill on how to eradicate insecurity in northern Nigeria. But they are pushing a bill. A Sharia law bill. How does that even make sense? These people are lawmakers. They are meant to make life easy for their people. They are meant to put things in place for their people. But look what they are doing instead. They are pushing Islam.
My name is Honorable Said Musa Abdullahi. I represent the people of Bida, Bako, Kacha Federal Constituency, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I'm from Niger State. Mr. Speaker, I think we need not lose sight of what the proposer of the bill intends to achieve. I understand how sensitive matters related to religion are, especially in this country. But the fact of the matter is, we cannot treat religion issues in isolation. There are issues that we must bring to the front burner and discuss, irrespective of how sensitive they are. I didn't want to stand, but I looked at the sensitivity. Even from the argument, you could see the sensitivity that is driving the sentiment that is driving the argument. But if we focus,
Honorable Ali, approach the chair.
If we focus on what the bill intends to achieve,
Honorable, approach the chair.
The bill intends to review the description of Islamic law, which means it's already enshrined in the Constitution. What it seeks to achieve is to review the description. So it's already in the Constitution. I don't understand why we will see it as something that will lead to snowball into a crisis or what have you. This is what we have done that over the years that has led us to not make progress on certain issues. It doesn't matter how sensitive these issues are. We must be able to debate them. This is what our people sent us here to do. If we run away from discussing a problem, if we assume it to be a problem, and we're running away from discussing it, how will you provide a solution to it? I will agree and accept the fact that there is need for further, broader consultation. But for us to run away from the problem, for us to drop it and say it's not an issue to be discussed on this floor, I don't think it's something that is acceptable. I so submit, Mr. Speaker.
when they wake up, the first thing they say is, how can Nigeria be the new Afghanistan? You know, they want to be the new Taliban. I'm not surprised, as I said. You know, when you have leaders that are dumb, when you put people who are dumb in a place, or when you allow people who are dumb to represent you, this is what you get. This is what you get. And this is what you get when you are a fanatic. Take it or leave it. An average Muslim is a fanatic. The first thing he is concerned about is Islam. And this is what you see happening in real time. To them, it's just about Islam first. Islam first. It's not Nigerians first. It's never Nigeria first. It's Islam first. And it will never happen, considering the fact that Nigeria is a secular state. And it's going to remain like that. There's nothing you can do about it. We are going to remain a secular state. If you want to destabilize Nigeria just because you are trying to push a Sharia bullshit, we are waiting. We are waiting. And we are not going to allow that happen. So to all these lawmakers pushing Sharia law, blah blah blah. I mean, if you want Sharia law, you can do us a favor. Pack your luggages and move your family to Afghanistan, Pakistan, or Iran to enjoy all the Sharia in this world. And of course, take your Sharia and shove it down your throat or your asshole. And if you are a Nigerian and you are in support of Sharia law, I only have one word for you, and that is fuck you. So I'm going to call it a day. Thank you all for watching this video, and if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor by smashing the like and subscribe button. I remain Ayotade. See you on the next one. Peace out.